up against one of the more lowly teams, Russia, and a big question mark as to how the Russians can do against a team that are really very much on song. Another lovely shot from the roof of the Capetown Stadium, built specifically for the FIFA World Cup 2010. So Fiji, as expected, very much the leaders as far as the series overall is concerned. Just one tied match, in fact, between the two nations, and Fiji winning comfortably on most occasions. So once again, it's Asiya Kolonisa, who, the 30-year-old, who will captain the Fijian side. Interesting to see that Ostrusko, their captain, is actually starting on the bench, and he is by far their best player too. But the big thing with Fiji is that they've got terrific balance in their side, and a lot of very, very talented players. And the rebuilding phase that was started last season by Ben Ryan, their coach, has certainly started paying dividends. Alongside me, Carl Tanana, and Carl, the Russians always willing, but they might be a bit starved of possession in this game.
Well, that's the big question for mine. Can they get enough ball to be able to test up? Very physical, no doubt about that, Gavin, but can they get enough possession to test this Fijian team? As you said, firing on all cylinders at the moment. And I think the thing that really stands out for me for the men in white is their decision-making, especially at the breakdown. It's head and shoulders above everyone else at the moment.
I'll tell you what I've also enjoyed with them as well is their support play. They just support the players so well, and their offloads in the tackle.
That's it. How to stop the offloads. I just watched them in their first game, and it's just so tough. If you go onto them, just able to get the ball away at ease, and that's the tough question.
And virtually every player is around about 1.9 meters, so with aerial skills and the ball in the air, it's tough playing against them, no doubt. But these young Russian fellows, and they have got a young side, would certainly, I think, look at this as a great opportunity for them. Mike Adamson is our referee for this match, one of the 8 referees taking part, and of course it's a big day as well for them because they have aspirations to be in Rio at the Olympic Games this year when Sevens rugby is played there for the very first time. So the starting point then from Ravuva, which just goes the 10 meters, and the Russians in possession at the moment. The key to them is that they've just got to try and be as accurate as possible. Try and cut down on basic errors like handling and stuff like that, and try and put pressure on the Fijians. I've always believed that if you want to play effectively against Fiji, you've got to play behind them as much as possible, Carl. And, well, it remains to be seen, because once the Fijians get their hands on the ball, they just use the width of the field so well too. In the meanwhile, it's the Russians having to move somewhat laterally with Sozonov getting it out there to Lazarenko, one of their more experienced players in their side, and German Davidov. But you can see they've retreated somewhat. The Fijians really well organized in defense.
Yeah, outstanding defense there from the Fijians. Very patient too. They're working together, just biding their time, and finally Herman Davidov takes it into contact and loses it easily. This is a bad spot to be in. Here, Klenisau, the captain, around the legs, and the number 6 comes in to assist. Now Gusa, it's an easy turnover. Basic errors, as you said, Gavin, they can't do it, this Russian team.
Fiji 34-19 in their first up match today against Scotland, and the Russians lost 33-5 against Argentina. A long pass there from Ravuvu, and opening up space for Rawatha. Strong man, electric pace, and ability to score tries from nowhere. This is where the Fijians are dangerous. Ravuvu, his change of direction to Malivoro, but well, a rare mistake from them. The one thing the Fijians don't do a lot of, Carl, and I think when you were playing too, is they don't kick much, keep the ball in hand.
Oh, they love passing the ball. Just watch him here go to work. Unfortunately, doesn't go to hand there for Malivoro. Everything has been, but just for me, Gavin, you can see already, they know they're playing Russia, they know they should win. But at the moment, they're just a step off this Fijian team at the moment. These passes normally go to hand. But that's the thing, sometimes the Fijians don't turn up mentally also.
Yeah, they're very religious people too, and very, very focused. And Ben Ryan, their coach, has just done a very, very good job. He's got such great man management skills. And that's really, I guess, what the Fijians needed at the time that he took over. Well, that's all just a little bit messy. And open up space here for Rawata, and he will get a try. Very naughty there of the Russians to fly kick that ball. It's scoot off the boot. The Watha said, here's my early Christmas present.
Oh, did he what? Santa Russia just gave it to him on a platter there to Watha. He's all power too. Number 11 for Fiji. Just those basic errors, as you highlighted. A little switch there. It was the right thing to do. He should have taken it too. Unfortunately, just boots it his way. Well, it is a soccer stadium, Gavin.
Just flying past Vilami Mata. So the Fijians then comfortably with the conversion too. But a lovely run, yeah. This man scored 37 tries last season for the Fijians. He was number 2 in the ranking. Knows pretty much how to score tries. Eduard Filipov taking it in for Russia. Have had their fair share of possession in this first half. We thought they would really be starved. Good organisation defensively by the Fijians. Besides their ability to tackle, it's their organisation in defence that's crucial too. It makes teams play more laterally against them. Let's watch the shepherding there from Kolinisal.
Tackle system.
They're playing with a lot of ball at the moment, this Russian team, but they just don't have that punch on offence at the moment, Gavin, to really threaten this Fijian defence. Their main man, Ostruskov, sitting on the sideline.
I was just wondering about him. The plan was to bring him on in the second half and just hope he doesn't have any injuries, because that's the occupational hazard with sevens. And as we saw as well with Joe Webber, who's apparently done ACL ligaments in his knee during New Zealand's victory. So New Zealand down by a man at least. So really tough for them. They've had so many injuries in recent times.
Well, that's just a free giveaway there from the Russian team. Andrei Sorokin won't be happy.
Yuri Rue in picture there, the CEO of South African Rugby in the green shirt. Nice to see him with his tie off. Looking nice and casual. What a nice warm summer's day here in Cape Town.
Set.
So Fiji now getting their hands on the ball. Let's watch how well they use the width of the field initially, and then they use the power. Once again, it's Rawatha. He's got one try already, and he won't need to score another, because that's going to belong to Batakoni. In fact, it was Nangusa, that picked up that last pass. Some good support play again.
Well, some outstanding support play, but it all started with the power of Sabadatha Rawatha running over the top of a defender, switches the ball in the right hand to be able to give that offload, and as always, a lot of tries to be had, Gavin, and support player Nagusa gets a second for Fiji. Look at him take out 2 defenders, does Rawatha, gets the angle, switches the ball, sees her a support player as well done.
Right place at the right time. Terrific play that. They've got such good lateral vision to the Fijians in terms of appreciation of how you use the field, how you support, when you basically pick up your speed. And from the kickoffs, this is Njasa Varamalua, who very often is used from those kickoffs to see if he can contest that ball in the sky. Bearing in mind what we said earlier, the Fijians all run about 1.9 meters, and great athletes at that too.
Yeah, all big, all fast, all powerful. Look at this once again, basic errors from the Russian team. You can't do that. You can't give away possession that easily.
Well, they're in the opposition 22, and the records tell us that they score 82% of the times when they're in opposition 22. That hasn't happened right now. An attempted switch there by the Russians was technically not efficient.
It's all just a bit lateral, a bit hesitant here from the Russian attack, and here's the throw into the liner, which Russia actually won. So Fiji, although they've been in areas to really score points, they haven't been that clinical this game.
Set.
Yeah, your expectations are that a team will fire on all cylinders from ball one, but I suppose they also know that you've got to build up and make sure that you get to a point where you can really make things happen. Here comes Ravuvu, and can he slip over? Right on the stroke of half time. That's the third try then for the Fijians. and maybe they've got that machine starting to work.
Yeah, just a one-on-one mismatch there.
Well, generally speaking, the Fijians score around about 4.5 tries on average per match. So we know about their try-scoring ability. This is the third one, but they've really been made of work in this first half by this plucky Russian side. Lazarenko with a chase. He was born in Siberia. I just wonder how he feels being in the heat here of Capetown or Dubai last week. Really tough. So officially then, it is half-time. Well, I don't suppose any coach is ever happy. Ben Ryan will have a chat to his team. But half-time, here it is. Fiji 19, Russia 0. So half-time, something of the past then, and the Fijians in the lead by 19 points to 0. And, well, maybe not as fluent as they would have wanted to be. Certainly, we might well see some action here in the second half from them. Can Russia hold on to the ball? Dmitry Sukin, the 20-year-old, the youngest team player in their team, will start the second half. And it's a shortish kick, but of course the Fijians are really, really strong in the air. Besides their height, their strength has added to it as well. You heard Ben Ryan, their coach, talking at half-time, and he asking for just a little bit more from them, just to speed up the game somewhat, try and suffocate the Russian players. Now, big chase here from Kolinisal. Just love the way the Fijians throw the ball around, how they have an appreciation for space. Such good runners with the ball. Advantage here to Russia. Can they make something of this? Just all a little bit stop-start for them because they're being forced to run fairly laterally. Here's their first chance to really straighten up the line.
Well, that's the area where Fiji really have been dominant over the last series. Kolinisal, the breakdown, outstanding understanding of where he can turn their ball over.
Just look at this, just slowly work their way up, and then suddenly you'll see an explosion when there's a bit of space for someone to move in. This is a replacement here with Ananchi. In fact, I've got to really work on getting his name right. There's a way of saying it. But one thing he has done is he scored an absolutely glorious try. So there's Coach Ben Ryan in the right hand of picture, and his management team, all of his management team.
I'll say they'd be pretty happy with their try. Well, their coach, you can see there, just biding their time, look for the mismatch, and then Mothi Nangathavi just strides away, probably gets in the second gear. Just make it look so easy across the deck, don't they, the Fijians?
Mothi Nangathavi, got it right.
Perfect, Gav.
Well, you know what, we've got to call him Muthi or something like that, I'm sure. The little shortened version. Nevertheless, a very welcome try that for the Fijians too. Their fourth try of the game. And it's going to be another one. A little bit of a mess there, and a neat little pickup. So the replacements are on, and the replacements are scoring. This time it's Alabaretti, Vaitikoni.
Dominance in the air. This is where they've been so good for so long. Kick-off time, just running onto it, outstanding there. What's the number? 8 for Fiji. And you want to come on into the field and make an impact as a sub. It's the best way to do it.
Well, that's 5 tries in this game, and the conversion's not really mattering at this stage. 31-0 it is, and Fiji just slowly working their way up.
You have to remember too, Kev, there's another game after this. Just want to conserve energy now. They've got this game well in hand, and just try and man management this one. Use all their subs and try and get through with limited damage.
Yeah, and of course we spoke about injuries early on as to always a concern that too. I see Domalala is also on the field, another replacement. And so those are fresh legs, but the Fijians are just such good athletes. Just don't really look like they get tired at all. Letakani, he's got one try already as a replacement. Here he comes for his second one. And the Russians are slowly tiring.
They're either slowly tiring or the Fijians are slowly warming up, but Domalala is the one who gets it in the end, unselfishly gets passed off. He's a lot to admire about this. Look at him. He offloads again. He does the 360. And another one just to top it all off does the number 8. Vetolkani, who's already scored one try, unselfishly gives a more experienced player a meat pie.
Well, when you've got a very experienced player running in that distance, he hasn't run it for nothing. He wants the ball, doesn't he? Add another one to the table of tries that he scored. Great tradition in Fijian rugby over the years. And many or very few people who like rugby would not remember the name Wasala Surevi. Amongst many others, produced some great rugby players. And sevens has really been one of the most important parts of their rugby culture.
Wasala Surevi, the greatest sevens player ever. Don't remind me of getting nightmares just thinking about him as we speak.
Well, you had the privilege of playing against him, Carl. And many other greats too. Now the Russians decide, let's kick and chase. Get out of our 22. Somehow feel that sometimes effective kicking can be useful in sevens. Domalala taken into contact. Out the Fijians come now, courtesy on that occasion of Nangusa. This is Mothanangi. Opened up. It's an easy run in. It's going to be another try. So the floodgates are starting to open. This time it's Vialami Mata. And everyone's getting a chance to get on the scoreboard.
Nothing. Zangi, who's come on, scored one try and set up a couple. Even Dalena doesn't know what's going on. But number 10, it's not supposed to look that easy, Gavin, but he does. And then again, another drive and support play by Vialami Mata. Beautiful to watch.
Well, the captain gets the conversion, so he's on the scoreboard as well with a couple of kicks in this match. And, from the starting team, just Vera Malua and Malivaru, who have not scored tries yet. So it really has been a good team effort, this from the Fijians. Points to 0 at the moment, heading towards potentially the biggest score of the day. So far, I think it belonged to the USA, beat Portugal 52 points to 7. Not much time left now for the Fijians to post now another victory. Yeah, is their chance. And surely, yeah, it's going to be another try to Mothanaki. He's got one, he's got a second, and this will be the record score here in Cape Town with the Fijian victory over Russia.
Yeah, they just had too much possession in the second half, the Fijian team, and one-on-one seems just put down the gas. They go way too high in defence to the Russian defender, and Mothanaki gets a second for the gap, and he's deserved it. He's been good since he's been coming on.
Well, it's 8 tries that they've scored, and up to half-time, it certainly looked like the Russians were giving it all, and then they ran out of steam in the second half. So it finally ends up then with the Fijians, and I think Ben Ryan will be happy enough with the efforts of his team to have got to the position that they've got to. With those 8 tries, they're building up to try and be the champion side here in Cape Town. Final score then, Fiji 52.